Hey guys, back again. I'm going to tell you a story. Back in get up there. Yeah. Back in 1994, there was a guy who found a driving license in a parking lot, and he had a friend coming out of prison in 1994, and this friend was into hire purchase fraud. 0.17, close enough, and minus 0.05. Oh, that's not good. 0.40, that's horrible. So that's come to me by 0.40. So it's got to go that way. So he gave his mate this driving license and asked him if there's anything that he could do with it to get hire purchase. So his friend used this driving license, and he went to his local library and looked at the council tax records and found somebody with a similar name who had been at an address for well over 10 years. So he used this as his previous address. That, good buddies, is pretty damn close. And what he did is he went to a motorcycle shop and he got hire purchase for a Honda Fireblade for his buddy. Off. Now, his buddy, the guy who's getting the bike, he's put a deposit down and he's made a couple payments and then nothing more. And then basically the bike disappeared. I actually know that he went across to France and bought himself a frame and then had that stamped with a number which wasn't in the UK, and then was riding around on a bike. So yes. So eventually the police kind of twigged what these two were doing, and they were looking for the guy who actually committed the fraud. But in the meantime, they took the bike off the guy and they kept it in the back of Wandsworth Police Station. Now, when they took the bike off the guy, they basically said it was hire purchase fraud, all the rest of it, blah blah blah. They couldn't do him because obviously he never committed the crime. So in the meantime, this bike is now sat in the back of Wandsworth Police Station. Now, when they took the bike off him, they basically said it was worth £13,800. Even though a brand new Fireblade in '94, I think, was £6,500, CBR 900RR. So again, this bike is now sitting in the back of Wandsworth Police Station. Now, one day this guy gets a speeding fine, 158 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone. And he then recognises the registration number as this Honda Fireblade. So what happened is this bike in the back of the police station just sat there doing nothing. Police officers come, police officers go. That is buckled to shit. Look at the state of that. Yeah, I'm going to have a different fault on how I'm going to mount this. So this bike sat in the back of the police station just doing nothing. Police officers come, police officers go. One day a police officer just decides to take the bike. Nobody knows anything about it. And he's riding around central London, and one day he decides to do 158 miles an hour to 30. So this guy's gone to his solicitor now to say, you know, what's happened. And the solicitor has gone to the police. The police have been informed, and I don't know what actually happened to the police officer in the end, so I can't tell you that part of the story. But basically, the other person was then caught, arrested, and at the police station, even though they had his fingerprints they had his fingerprints on the paperwork, and they had him picked out in a lineup. So the guy decided he's just going to go guilty. The solicitor turned around and says, just go not guilty. There's not a lot else they can do. You know, the time difference is going to be slim to none. So he goes not guilty at court. So he's bailed to Plymouth from West London Magistrates Court. Is it West London Magistrates Court? Or no, sorry, it's Lavender Hill Magistrates Court, Battersea. Whoopsie dukes, that's not right. Out you go. There we go. So he's bailed to Plymouth for 2 weeks, and then basically what happens then is he's gone back to court, and the CPS still weren't ready to try the case, so they asked for another 2-week adjournment. So it's obviously been adjourned for 2 weeks. Where did the other one of those go? Did it go down there? Bugger, I'll find it later. So 2 weeks pass, goes back to court, and the CPS asked for another adjournment for 2 weeks because they're not ready to rock and roll yet. So again, he's bailed back to Plymouth and having to sign on at the police station every day. 2 weeks pass, he's back in court again, and the CPS again asked for another adjournment for 2 weeks. The guy's solicitor jumps up and he basically says, well, Mr. Such and Such has been returning to bail, we want to reduce the bail conditions so he doesn't have to sign on at the police station twice a day, etc, 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 etc. And that was that. He got bailed again, 2 weeks. 2 weeks later he's back in court. The CPS still couldn't go forward with the case. I'll never understand why. And the judge basically says, if you're not ready to go in 2 weeks' time, I'm just going to admonish this case. I'm going to throw it out. What are you like now? Sometimes worse, but it's not kicking that way now. So somehow I've just got to straighten this up, because that wheel bouncer sender is not actually central in this 4-jaw, and if I put it into the 3-jaw, it's even worse. So he says he's going to throw it out. 2 weeks pass, back in court again, and the CPS wanted to adjourn it for another 7 days. And this guy's solicitor jumps up and he basically says to the judge presiding at the time, but Justice such and such said if the CPS weren't ready to go, then he was going to throw it out, he was going to admonish it. So this guy, he's bailed till after lunch. After lunch, goes to court, They found the other judge, who was in a traffic court at the time, and the judge says, "Yes, I remember Mr. Such and Such." Turned to the CPS, "Are you ready to proceed?" The CPS said they wanted another week. The judge just put his gavel down, so I admonished this case. The CPS then jump up and do their little thing and says that we can rearrest Mr. Such and Such and reopen this case. And the judge just said, "Feel free to do so. Mr. Such and Such, you're free to go." And that was that. That was 1996, and I don't think the person has heard any more. But let's get back to this Fireblade now. So basically, the police have got no case on this Fireblade now, so they offer it back to the guy. And the guy turns around and says, "Well, I don't want it." And the police said, "Why not?" He said, "Well, when you took it off me, it was a brand new motorbike that had very little miles on it, very clean condition. It's been abandoned at the back of a police station for 2 years. A police officer has thrashed the living ring out of it. I don't want it back. I want the value of the vehicle." So police have obviously looked at the value of a brand new 1994 Honda Fireblade, and they've offered him, I think it was £6,200. And he's turned round and says, "No, £13,800 is what you valued the bike at the time." So, yes, the police conceded in the end. They paid him out the £13,800 that they estimated the value of the bike to be worth, and they gave him the bike back as well, which was nice. Win-win and all that. But yes, so that was 1994, and this person has been arrested on other things, been to court on other things, been stopped by the police many times, and it's never come up. So, as far as I can see, yeah, this person got away with it. But the other thing is when this person was in custody originally, he's looking at ways to get out, and there's a sergeant basically saying, if you tell us more, then we could get a reduced sentence. And this person, he was basically not on the run, but he'd been pulled over and given a false name, and got bail from the police station, and was due to go to court and never turned up. So when the person was in custody, he was willing to give information, and basically says, "I'll tell you whatever you need to know, yeah, or tell him a pack of lies, yeah, if they can change the court venue so it doesn't go to Lavender Hill police station, Lavender Hill courts." But they weren't willing to do that. So this person's now in court, on many occasions, sat there for many hours, sat down, looking at his shoes, not looking up, police officers passing him all the time, because he's obviously there under another name, and it just takes one copper to recognise him, and then he's buggered for everything else. But yes, he sat there on 5 occasions for up to 3 hours at a time, 15 hours of police walking past him all the time, and they didn't get him. But yes, this person got away with that as well. I wonder if the guy with the Fireblade's still alive. Theoretically, I'll call him Clive. Yeah. Second name the same as a famous photographer from back in the 70s and 80s. But thinking about it, the guy who did the hire purchase fraud, he would have been, oh, how old would he have been in 1996? 24? And I think his buddy was about 52. So he's got to be in his 80s now if he's still alive. But if anybody knows Clive with a famous photographer's second name, black Jamaican dude, heavily into motorbikes, was back into karting in the late 80s, the mid 90s, possibly got a son called Aaron. Hit me up in the comments because I'd like to look into him again. But yes, 158 miles an hour and a 30 for a police officer who just basically borrowed a motorcycle from evidence. Too late in the evening now, it's 9:20 to deal with anything with this. But the issue that I've got here is obviously the forge jaw. I've got to be able to get at the chuck screws. So the only thing that I've got is I've got a 1/2 inch centre out of a torque wrench, which I can just about get in the hole. In you go. And then a 13mm spanner just to crank them, and I shall get this zeroed up in the centre. Because I'm wanting to use the front face of this, so I need to get this edge here so it's beautiful and square, so I can just chop off this back edge, because this back edge is all over the shop, and if I try putting on my face plates by bolting it down onto the back edge, the front edge is all over the shop, and I can't bolt the front edge onto my face plates because basically it's a modified dog. I just lift that up. That there sticks out too far for me to be able to lay it down flat there. So I just need to skim that back edge there, which I will do with the XY table, and I'll just take a skim off the back. And then once I've got a skim off the back, I can then bolt that to the faceplate. I'll machine out the front there, and all I'm basically wanting is that section there as a hoop. Rear section's gone. I've got a plan for these. See how it goes. Right here, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you don't, I'm going to stop telling stories. Yeah, and you can forget engineering. Yeah, I'm going to stop all that as well, because I want you people to subscribe to my channel, like and share. Let's get it up to 1,000. Laters, dudes.